Welcome back then, here we go. It's week 4 Rocket League on your Saturday. I hope you're enjoying it so far. We will head our attention now to matchup 2, Method taking on Epsilon. And I need to know where my analysts are. I've got Johnny Boy and Shogun. You're both predicting that Method are going to win this. If that's the case, I want to know why from both of you.
I just think that they're the favorites. We're seeing a 0-3 team go up against, you know, 2/3 of one of the best teams in the world, and Bipod, the best player from the prequel to Rocket League.
The best player in the world from the prequel.
Yeah.
Steve Bill's got 9.
Full stop.
Steve Bill's got nothing. Yeah, exactly. I've got nothing else to say. We've got all the way from the worst player here to the best player here. And
wow.
This is exactly why we're going for Method.
And the question is, will you ever get a laugh from Magnus? No is the answer. That is the face of steel. Oh, good, a blue steel. I'm going to give a little bit of a shout out to my boys Epsilon, my Flarky, my Data, my Florus. Gentlemen, they're not backing you, but I am. I just want you to know that. And a little thumbs up there from Flarky. Thank you very much. All the best. Listen, let's head over to the guys that are going to be commentating throughout the dab. Oh, well, I mean, doomed. What are you again, Greg? Oh, there, beautiful.
I'm a dabbing Reaper.
Thank you.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Yeah, at some point in our life, we all are a dabbing Reaper. Whether it's now or whether it's in-game when your goal explodes, that's the time where everyone wants to dab as a Reaper.
Beautiful. Gentlemen, what do you reckon for this matchup? Are you agreeing with Johnny Boy and Shogun?
Yeah, probably. I think it's going to be a method win. I mean, you've got Metzer and Magnus. Whenever they're on stage, I'm always feeling like they're going to win. And Bipod played really well last week. Can he pull it out again? That's the question.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think I'm going with Method as well. You've got the duo back, Magnus and Metzer. They lit up the Elite Series last year and last season. Sorry, God, getting ahead of myself. It wasn't a year ago, was it? And you know, some of the best performance in the world. So definitely going with Method.
What am I doing, gentlemen?
Fly.
Thank you. See you in a bit.
Fly, my pretty.
I'm going now. Bye.
All right, mate. See you in a bit. We'll take over from here, Greg. And wait. By the way, your dab's definitely improved from the last time I saw it. But ladies and gentlemen in the crowd, it's been a little bit quiet in here today. Are you ready for game 2? It's as simple as that. Are we ready?
I don't think that was loud enough. Crowd, come on.
Are you ready? Come on, boys. There we go. All right, let's get into this game. Gregan, Method versus Epsilon. Before we get into it, I want to know what player you're looking out for a star performance of this series.
I think we're going to see Metsonorus coming out on stage. The best name, I think, in all of Rocket League.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Just so, like, intricate.
It's kind of like, it reminds me of a dinosaur as well. You know what I mean? Like one of those things you'd find a fossil. But one thing that isn't going to get old is this match. I'm looking forward to this one, Greg, and we're getting underway. Take it away, buddy.
Method versus Epsilon Esports. Who is going to take it today? The Method are the favourites going in, but Epsilon have been putting in some training hours as we start off with a Bipod goal.
The man who lit up the Elite Series last week has started strongly again. We were talking about how he's improved his defensive play, but on the scoreboard straight away, so quickly onto the back of that one. And Method, in the first 10 seconds, Greg, and we're 1-0.
All came from that Metsonorus aggressive pass off the sidewall, puts it into the middle. Epsilon were not ready, and that is a statement. Method were known for their goals, goals, goals in Series 1. Here they are, Series 2, with Magnus back for his first week.
Always good for confidence at the start of a game, just to get that one on the board. Bipod now going to pop that one off the backboard. Is anyone there? It's going to be Magnus following up, but cannot direct that one towards goal. But Metsonorus is going to be back here. He's going to take to the air, but beaten to the ball there by Flarky. Going to drop down as well. Oh, an opportunity there, and they're the kind of opportunities you do need to see Epsilon putting away, Greg, and if they want to come out with a result in this series.
Yeah, that's one thing we've always loved about Method, is whenever they get shots, they tend to go in as Florus redirects that one in off of the defender. A powerful 50-50 goes on net.
Following his own pass off that backboard, following it up, as you see, a little bump off of Metsonorus to put that one in the back of the net. But we're tied up at 1-1, Greg. This is exactly what I wanted to see. A real series on our hands, and a 1-1 within the first minute. I think that's exactly what we're going to see.
Very different to Series 1 we saw today. That was a slow-paced game, lots of misses. So far, we've seen much better mechanics from both teams here. We've seen more shots in this game than I think we saw in any of the games in the previous one. And that's what we're excited for here, as goals are going to be key.
Of course, Magnus, who led the Elite Series, picked up that golden wheel, should we call it?
Golden wheel.
Is it the golden wheel?
Golden axle.
Last season, has a shot, another shot coming on goal here, but a nice save coming in from Data there. Flarky's going to clear this one up. Oh, the pressure that we're so used to seeing from Method, as Metsonorus wins that one in the midfield. And now we're going to see Epsilon on the defense once again, as Method are just raining down on this goal.
Indeed. So this first minute, normally we don't see many goals early on in series because teams like to kind of test out their opposition. But very aggressive from both teams, which is good signs. They look warm, they look like they're ready to play fast and hard as
what a pass,
Magnus.
though.
What about backboard? Always looking for his teammates.
Beautiful pass across. Couldn't quite convert that one, as it's difficult to just squeeze that one in off the top of the crossbar. Bipod does get the demo, though, so can have a man advantage for a moment here. Metsanoris is going up, but beaten to the ball there by Flores as he comes off of that backboard. Data's going to get the ball away. But again, we see Magnus keeping that pressure on, always keeping that ball in the Epsilon half. Plays this one back to Bipod. Bipod looking for the pass off the backboard. Flores does get some contact on it, so he's going to take that away. But again, Magnus just putting the pressure on. Data now forced into some defensive plays, and Bipod with the shot. Oh, Magnus does come in with the save.
Yeah, Flores having to scramble back, and that does put everyone a little bit out of position, which means Magnus is able to come in almost uncontested. He did have to take it around the defensive player, but he squeezes it in off the far post. Just there, making sure he follows through. A little bit of luck, missing wide, but happened to be on the same line of that ball. Finishes it off. Method now go 1 goal up.
And always keep an eye on that player, Ken, when we see Magnus. The man of not many emotions, but we saw a little smile on his face there, Gregan, as Method do go into the lead 2-1. And now it's up to Epsilon to try and get back into this one. Bipod, once again, going to be back, gets that clear upfield. Flores is trying to follow this one up. This is what we saw from Epsilon.
Oh, what a shot.
That is going to be lobbed over. It's going to be an empty net here, and Magnus is going to bag his second of the game as Method go up 3-1. Magnus taking that player out of the game as you see him beating Data to the ball. Follows it up, empty net, easy pickings.
He's always just so fast, Magnus. That's what he's always claimed to try and be, the fastest player on the pitch. And that is a prime example of why it works, because Epsilon had full expectations that Data was going to be able to get there. Magnus chips over him and has an empty net to score on. Great use of speed, always moving at supersonic. Allows you to be that little bit tougher to read as a player because you're always there a little bit quicker than you expect.
Data try and take that one over that player, but read well. Method going to get the clear away now, Flores, but once again, Metsanoris just keeping that pressure on. It's going to be up to Data now. He misses the ball and it's going to be dropping to Magnus, but no, Flarky is back there. He's going to quell the pressure momentarily here for Epsilon, but so many 50-50s in the middle of the pitch at the moment. Data goes for that midfield boost. But going to pop this one back inside, trying to follow it up, but Bipod going to put this one back into the Epsilon half. Data going to pass this one out wide. Good to see Epsilon looking for some passing plays. As we saw, that was how Method were taken down a couple of weeks ago, but it's going to be Data.
And there's my dabbing Reaper.
There he is. Gregan comes out a goal.
My hero.
Very 2016, but it's all good, Gregan.
No, what happened there, Data could have charged on that ball, caused Magnus to rush his attempted clear, dived across behind that ball, which meant Data had a free shot on net. And I've got huge props from my boy Data, putting on the Dabbing Reaper. I told all the players today, if you put on the Dabbing Reaper, I'll be your favorite. You'll be my favorite player.
And we're not on camera at the moment, but every time that a goal does go in and we see that Dabbing Reaper, Gregan extends those arms behind his head.
Oh,
just to get himself loose, get into this game a little bit. But a 1-goal game now. Epsilon down by 1 as we approach the last minute or so of this game. It's going to be Method now putting the pressure on, but Black's going to have a clearance here. Contested here. Magnus is going to try and place this one off the backboard. Tries to follow up his own shot. Cannot quite make contact as he comes under pressure. Data doing a good job defensively at the moment. He is going to have that boost stolen. Magnus now trying to redirect that one towards goal. It's Metsanoris who's following up. Flarky going to be on the breakaway here, but Bipod once again back, and we talked about how he's got to be this responsible player here for Method, and he seems to be fulfilling that role quite well at the moment. Yeah, doing really well, and I'm noticing Magnus and Metsanoris are using that backboard really effectively. They're sending it very high, which makes it tougher to defend for Epsilon. So that backboard touch there, a prime example of how it can set up a goal. Magnus just looming in the box, ready to come in on that one. So good to watch Magnus shoot. Like, he doesn't look like he's going to have an angle for that, but somehow booms it in just below the crossbar. Beautiful half volley there from Magnus, just catching that one after the bounce. Beautiful power on it, as you say, Gregan, as well. You just, when that ball drops to him, you just don't expect him to miss the target. He's so lethal for this Method team, and it's been the story so far for Method. Every time we see Metsanoris and Magnus together, anytime there is an opportunity, you just know they're going to be hitting the target, which makes it so much more difficult for Epsilon. They have forced into making those saves. With 6 seconds left on the clock, this is going to be game number 1. Going to Method, Gregan. And this is the Method we expected to see. Magnus getting a hat-trick, comes back. He was the golden wheel, as you said, in Season 1. And he's back again. Is that a thing now, the golden wheel? We can make it a thing. If you want to make it a thing, we'll make it a thing. I'm calling it TM.
Golden win.
Royalties sent to my address, which I'm not going to reveal right now, but...
But yeah, you can see the 7 shots and 3 goals. That is Mognus written all over. And the reason why he's here this week, I reckon he had that feeling when he was watching the Gfinity Elite Series. He knew he could come back and make a difference for that Method team. They did suffer a loss 2 weeks ago to Prophecy. Unexpected there. Mognus wants to come back in and be that difference. But Bipod really putting his weight for the team.
Yeah, again, we could talk about Mognus and Metsonoris all day and the ability they have in front of goal and how fast they play. But Bipod, it takes a lot for a player to almost take that responsibility on their shoulders and accept that maybe Mognus and Metsonoris are better players than him in certain positions on the pitch. So he's filling in that role perfectly for this Method team, just allowing Metsonoris and Mognus to do what they do best, Gregan. And that says a lot for the character of the player.
Yeah, and to not take anything away from Epsilon, to lose to Method by 2 goals is not a big problem. They've done very well to keep up with them in that game. Some really strong defense. Just a few moments where they overcommitted a little bit too much, and that meant they were empty at the back. And all it takes is one good pass, one good shot, and you get scored on.
Now, we are on camera, Gregan. Come on, how many goals did we see? Ready?
How many goals?
Just a quick dab. Just one.
Just one quick dab.
Yeah, I don't want
Got to get the hood up.
Ready?
Game is starting.
There it is.
Let's go.
There it is. He was
Straight
practicing
in.
that for hours, and he's absolutely nailed it. But
know
getting into game number 2 of the series, what do you feel that Epsilon have to do if they do want to take down Method, who looks so organised and so strong in that first game?
I think you're going to have to be aggressive, because the only way you can match Method's speed is to be aggressive. And we noticed they did that in game 1, but there were a few mistakes because of it, because they weren't comfortable playing at that speed. As they get used to it, hopefully for them, they'll be able to react and get clean touches.
It's going to be Metsonoris who's winning this ball once again, using that backboard. There's going to be 2 players committing here from Method, but Metsonoris recognises it straight away, decides to rotate back as those 2 players did go forward for that ball. Be ball contested in the midfield here. It's going to be a shot coming in. Mognus is back though, showing that he's not only got those shooting boots on, but knows how to keep that ball out of his own goal as well. Flores going to be back here. He's going to be challenged by Mognus, trying to get that block on the ball. Metsonoris going to be arriving, looks for that pass out to Mognus. Flucky reads it well though. Following that one up as well, I was going to say, Bipod was alone there. Flucky could have got a slightly more power on that touch. It's going to be followed in here. Flores going to flop down on that one and send it towards goal, but solid defense, as we expect from Method as well. And it's one thing we always talk about how good Method are going forward, but defensively, they're so solid as well, Gregan.
Yeah, and that just comes from the way they time their rotations. They're always coming back to net with speed, so it means they can fly up to those saves and meet the ball at the source of the shot a little bit earlier, so close down that angle. Oh, data going off the ceiling. I do like to see mix up, change up the angle of attack.
Yeah, and also just some confidence as well, not being phased by who he's playing against, deciding to take that touch. Bring that ball down under control. Make sure they keep that ball in their possession, because if you don't, then Mognus will make you pay. Mognus with his 4th goal of the series, and you just cannot give that kind of opportunity. We see the pass in field, a beautiful pass, and Mognus once again just smashing the ball into the back of the net.
Little hook shot there.
And there's a smile. That's the 2nd smile of the series. Mognus is feeling good.
I mean, after 4 goals, you would be smiling, wouldn't you? But he did just get given an opportunity there by Data missing the ball. It's all it takes. One miss opens up a window for Method.
One mistake. They are just so brutal when it comes to putting the boot in. 1-0 now to Method. 1-0 to them in the series as well. We're going to see once again Method putting the pressure on Data. Challenging for this ball. Bipod doing well. Plays that one back to Metsonoris, who's looking for a second touch on this if he can. There was 2 players looming for the shot. Bipod with a shot now. Lucky's going to get the save, however. Mognus looks like he was looking for a pass in field there. Might have got in the way of his own pass accidentally. Shot does come in though. A demo comes in as well. Epsilon looking to take the aggression here to this Method side, and this is exactly how we saw Prophecy beating Method. Yes, a slightly depleted lineup from Method in that week, but it was how they managed to take them down.
It was indeed, and you've got to be careful when you're playing with these sort of players, Mognus and Metsonoris, because you can try...
Data! With the blocking! Metsonoris with the save.
Yeah, you can try and match your teammates' aggression and speed, and I feel like Bipod at times might start to try and do that, but then he's putting himself out of his comfort zone. And I think that was happening with Sniper when he was on that roster, as he didn't feel comfortable playing as fast as him, so some of his decision-making wasn't as good, and Prophecy really punished on that. That's a beautiful pass into the middle. Good rotations back by Epsilon. They are matching the speed and rhythm of this Method team. But like we said earlier on, one mistake is all it takes to crumble this Epsilon team, so they've got to be careful.
Pressure here from Epsilon. Pass inside. Flores trying to redirect that one towards goal. He's going to be able to potentially recycle this one. Data is going to give up on that one as Metsonoris gets the read off the backboard. Now we see another challenge high upfield here from Data, and I like it again, Greg, and we're seeing Epsilon trying to win those 50-50s, keep the pressure on, starve method of that boost and create some opportunities, but now we're going to see Bipod arriving, but Data reads it well, and Epsilon, you have to say defensively, are holding up pretty well, although down by 1.
Yeah, I'm noticing the consistent use of the backboard by Method. So I think if Epsilon want to continue defending comfortably, they need to try and keep one person in that net and get back quicker with that second person rotating back and head up to the backboard. Because you see there, it's very tough to defend from underneath. Flarky very capable of doing so, but one of those will be a miss, and that's when you concede.
Yeah, I think it's a good point you make there. Just one mistake has to be made, and we've already seen what Method can do when given those opportunities. You know that they are going to make you count. A long shot does come in. Is everyone going to be able to get back? Magnus.
So calm.
Calm, comfortable, no worries. Such a difficult touch under pressure of, if you mess that one up, that's going in the back of the net. But Magnus showing how good he is. Taking that one down. Flarky now going to push this one back up, but Mesanoris is going to be there. Gets the read on that one. 2 players back in net here for Epsilon. Data causing some trouble upfield here, though, for Method. He's going to have an opportunity. If he can find a pass inside, there might be a chance. But it looks like Epsilon going to be back. Nice pass out wide. Magnus is going to be arriving. Puts that one up. Mesanoris off the backboard. Just dropped Data. That is an unfortunate circumstance as Data puts that one into the back of his own net. Method go up 2-0.
That came down so fast. Mesanoris launches it into the curve above the net, sends it straight down. That's often a very effective pass because you know it's dropping straight down. Any touch you get on it goes in the goal, and unfortunately for Data, he finds himself slightly off the goal line. The only way he could have not scored that was to just drive away from the ball. How unintuitive is that? You don't want to just leave the net and say, that's the best way I can deal with this.
Yeah, that's difficult. That's like a horrible wake-up call. That's like being asleep and someone chucking a bucket of water on you. That's not a nice thing to see for Data. I feel for him in that situation. Method up 2-0 as we go into that last 10 seconds. You can hear the buzzer in the background as well. And it looks like Method are going to be going up 2-0 in the series and winning that game by 2-0 as well. And it's that man we talked about, Gregan. Magnus. Mr. Goals.
Mr. Goals, indeed. Magnus is back, everybody.
There's a better nickname in there than Mr. Goals, isn't there?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of like it at the same time.
Mr. Goals, also
effective,
known
robotic like he is.
as Magnus, the man, Moggy Man himself. But Mesanoris is part of the reason why Magnus scores so much. And to be fair to Bipod as well, he was really solidly passing into the middle, giving opportunities. And that's what kind of team you want around Magnus. You want people who are just going to hit it into that backboard. Infield passes, they haven't even used infield passes that much, but they have that in their arsenal if they need it. Against this Epsilon team, they've recognized that the backboard is a weakness and counterattacks are a weakness, and they're using that over and over again.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's so good about Method. They're so good at recognizing how to beat teams within the first sort of couple of minutes of a game. They work teams out. They know exactly how they want to play, as you saw, going for those backboard plays. And they've worked out for them, so they've kept that pressure up. And every time an opportunity comes, and it just keeps putting Epsilon under pressure as well, as we talked about. One mistake, as we see there from Data. I don't know if I want to call that a mistake. That's just a horrible situation to be put in, isn't it?
I would never want to be stuck just off my goal line. The only thing you could say is get behind the goal line when you go to net. But how are you meant to expect Mesanoris to send it up into the ceiling, drop it straight down like that, and react to that? You just can't. So unfortunate for Data. But that's Epsilon now. They're going to have to struggle through a win. It's not going to be easy. They're going to have to defend incredibly well. They're going to have to push on those counterplays, because there were a few times when Bipod was left alone. And I don't want to say he's the weak link, but when you're with Magnus and Mesanoris, you're always the weak link.
Now, if you had an opportunity to make a statement, it's reverse sweeping Method.
Oh, it is.
So let's see if Epsilon can pull that one off as we go into game number 3. Will Method close out the series in clinical fashion, or will we see Epsilon pull off arguably one of the biggest comebacks and results of the Elite Series? Magnus looking to put the pressure on straight away, and in both games we've seen Method take the lead. Now we're going to see Magnus going up for this one. Just so challenged though. Bipod once again responsible, back on that rotation, going to make sure to keep the pressure on, and surprise, surprise, it's Mr. Goals who gets himself back on that score sheet. Magnus with the first goal of the game.
We got to see Magnus and how his brain works for that first 30 seconds, and it's just constant pressure. No emotion. All his emotion gets turned into aggression on the pitch, and every time the ball was near him, he would touch it. But he doesn't just touch it for the sake of touching it. He has an instinct. He knows where to put it, and often that is the net.
Yeah, as you say, instinct. Some of these things you almost can't teach, can you? They just how you read the game, how you see things developing. And look at this, Magnus with a second shot there, but Dale with an impressive save to keep this a one-goal game. We can see Flarky trying to put the pressure on up the pitch as well. Metsonoris is going to get the second on the board, though, for Method. Epsilon staring down the barrel of a defeat now. That's Metsonoris, the man with the most beautiful hair in the Elite Series.
That top knot is gorgeous.
It is, isn't it?
It's Ariel's favorite. She loves it.
I'm very jealous.
I mean, your hair doesn't quite grow like that, does it?
No, it doesn't, especially in that area where that top knot is. Moving on, Method, up 2-0. Inside that first minute, and now I'm just expecting to see Method maybe just try and turn it on a little bit as they close out this series. Bipod pushing this one back across. Flocky does manage to get it clear, but all the pressure so far has been from Method. They've almost been camped in that Epsilon half.
Yeah, I mean, you just saw there, Florus was sat in midfield and went, where do I go? I have no boost. All the boost around me is taken. So he just kind of waddles back to net. And then he's useless for a good 5 seconds. And that's the kind of thing that boost starving does, constant aggression does. And because they move so fast, they're constantly rotating out via that boost. So there's many different facets to this aggression that Method have as to why it's dangerous as Data. A great shot, but Bipod being the defensive wall they need.
Bipod doing such a good job, and I don't want to undersell the job he is doing for this Method team as Magnus and Mets are doing what they do best at the under end of the pitch, but
it's a good pass.
Pass upfield, as you say. Metsonoris going to cut that one out, though. Again, just such a good read on the ball, Greg. And it's almost as if, I think you used the perfect word, it's almost instinctive. They know how Epsilon are trying to play. They position themselves so effectively to read those balls and get those clearances upfield. We see the ball played down again. Florus going to miss this one. Magnus already going to bring it down. And once again, look at this. Just calm, casual, as if he's just, just playing a game of matchmaking. It's as simple as that. On this Elite Series main stage, Magnus again trying to clear this one away. Going to be Florus back here. Flocky looking for the double touch off the backboard, and it's going to be a beautiful finish.
What a shot.
One on the board here for Epsilon. Cuts this down to a 1-goal game. You feel like if maybe they get another one on the board, Gregan, a little bit of confidence may grow. They may fancy this.
But do you see how tough that was to form for Flocky there? Props to him for getting the mechanics out there. He had to do a very refined power slide. He had to make sure he got the perfect point where he turned around, chip it to a point on the backboard which they couldn't reach, because if he sent it towards the net, there would have been a save, and then angle it down towards the net. And that's going to go in.
2-2.
Similar to the previous game where Data own-goaled it off of the backboard. This one pops down off the crossbar and allows Florus to get a goal, and suddenly we see Epsilon, they're back in the game.
Now, how do Method cope with this? This is the first time we've seen them under pressure. Although the game is tied up, can Epsilon eke out a lead in this game? We still have 2 minutes 30 left on the clock. 2 goals in succession here to bring this game back level. Going to do wonders for confidence after losing those first 2 games. But we see Metsonoris now trying to put the pressure back on for Method. All going to be cleared upfield by Epsilon. Ball into the middle. Bipod going to get the clearance as we see one Epsilon player flying in there, trying to get a touch to send that one towards goal. Daya, you could see him wiggling there, thinking about going for that ball, but making a good decision to let his teammate go for that one. Flocky going to press this one across. Florus trying to send that one into the back of the net and putting Epsilon into the lead. But now we see Data trying to keep the ball in that Method half, looking for that pass out to Data. Data off the backboard. Oh, Flocky. Just the pressure came in. Not sure who that Method player was who managed to get the pressure on him as he was lining up that shot, but we are seeing a bit of a momentum swing in this game now, Greg, and it's now tied up 2-2, but Epsilon have turned this one around.
I think this whole series, Epsilon have had great offense, and I think we cannot take that away from them. They've been passing well, they've had good shot opportunities, they just haven't been able to quite extend it to the net due to great defense from Method. Whereas now they found a few gaps, and it's started to open a bit because Method are not as confident as they were before.
So crazy how a couple of goals can just change a mentality for a team. Magnus with a shot. Florus does get the save, though. Metsonoris doing what he does best, and that is winning that ball high up the field in the midfield. We're going to see Data. If he can get a touch on this one, but Bipod with a huge block in the air there, as that one did look goal-bound. 1 minute left on the clock now, Greg, and Metsonoris with another save as well. Magnus now trying to break away. Data's going to challenge that one, as Magnus was trying to bulldoze his way through that midfield. And that last line of defense here for Epsilon. Florus with a touch. It's dropping to Flocky. Flocky off the crossbar. Metsonoris, and it's going to be Florus who puts it over the line, and Epsilon now go into a lead. Method with 2 goals up in this game. Epsilon have turned this one on its head, and it's now 3-2 to Epsilon Esports.
Beautiful passing play from Epsilon. Florus bangs that one into the backboard, sends it out as far as possible so Flocky can guarantee he gets there first. And not only did Flocky get there first, but he struck that ball cleanly just below the crossbar. Metsonoris, props to him, almost getting that save. The reaction speed required there was incredible, but it does go crossbar down and in off of Florus. Now Epsilon have 30 seconds. I think they just got to keep going offense, because that is where they look most confident.
I'd agree, and they've had most of the possession, and of course if you have possession of the ball, it's going to be very difficult for your opponents to score, but Magnus is trying to maybe create something, a little bit of desperation maybe creeping in here for Method. Ball going to be high up the pitch. It's going to be Florus who just gets that long clear, and those long clears are just going to buy his team time.
10 seconds.
10 seconds left on the clock. Can Epsilon do this? Data with the long clearance upfield. Metsonoris desperately tries to get back, does get that one off the line. 2 seconds left. It's looking like Epsilon could keep this one close, and they take game number 3. After being 2 goals down, stone faces on these guys. These guys look concentrated, they look focused.
What a performance from them. To go 2 goals down and to say, we just got to keep going. Reset your mindset. Don't worry about the score. Don't worry about the fact you're playing against Method. Just come in and say, our offense is looking good. Let's just keep going with it. And they started passing that little bit more aggressively, and it started working for them, and that's great to see. Huge props to Epsilon for really sticking at it.
Yeah, and there's some replays from that game. Of course, we saw Magnus getting on the scoreboard early on. It's what we expect from the man himself, Mr. Goals, as that one was put in the back of the net. But I totally agree with you. I felt like there was more purpose to Epsilon's play in the second half. As soon as they went down by 2, it's almost as if they were playing with nothing to lose, but not being reckless at the same time, Greg, and which is so important, because if they just felt if they lost another goal, that was almost the series over. But they just seem to step up their intensity, and as I say, the meaningfulness, is that a word? I'm going to go with that word. Meaningfulness of their passing.
Word
exactly, of their passing just really came to fruition as we saw Florus here managing to score that goal to put them into the lead. And I mean, Gregan, you said the reverse sweep might be one of the biggest upsets of the Elite Series, one of the biggest results we've seen in the Elite Series. Can it happen?
I mean, for Epsilon, they've just got to believe. I know they're a very strong team when they're believing in themselves, and I think that could be the difference. That game there. As we go into game 4, does the crowd think Epsilon can do it? Let's go. I can see some beautiful masks in there. Don't hide from me. Get involved. Cheer on Epsilon here. They need your energy as we're going in. Method looking rattled.
Here we go then. Part 1 of the greatest comeback in the Elite Series has begun. Epsilon winning that game number 3 as Method lead the series 2-1 at the moment. Of course, they only need 1 game. Epsilon need the 2. But of course, if Epsilon manage to take this game as well, Greg, and they will at least get a point on the board, which may play so vital towards the end of those playoffs places.
For sure. I mean, at this point, there's been very few game 5s, so that means that 1 point is essentially a game win, because it will be the difference between you and a team who hasn't had a game 5 situation. So Epsilon will be thinking about that right now, but they've just got to keep thinking about reset. Doesn't matter what the score is. Let's just play freely and try and win every moment of the game.
Good pass across here. Oh, Flucky with a little backing up onto that ball there.
Little rear end.
Ball still going to be in that Method half. Fluck going to be back. Gets that one cleared back upfield. Looking for the second touch as well. It's going to take Bipod out of the game. Magnus, though, clears up for his team. Bipod pushes this one back into the middle. You can see Magnus just sniffing around for any sort of opportunity there. Metsonoris plays that one back down. Florus going to take his time here, but Metsonoris is going to make him pay there as winning that ball in the midfield once again. But Data with a long clear. Now we're trying to see Method come back into this game a little bit. But you have to say that a lot of these 50-50s and important ones are being won, but no! Oh my word, I thought that was going to be Method getting a little bit lucky there. Data now taking this one upfield.
You say lucky, it was a Goomba stomp attempt where you just jump on top of another car. They cannot then jump up to the ball to make the save, and they just get static. And it almost worked, but the shot just went wide. But this has been a good start for Epsilon in defense. They just haven't looked like getting scored on. They're defending on the backboard. We said that was a key area, and we've seen pretty much every clear at this point has been from the backboard.
Yeah, and recognizing the game situation.
There we go.
Where their problems was is going to be so vital. Metsonoris is going to try and squeeze that one in at the near post. Can't quite find
backboard
the finish, but I think Data's the player as well that seems to recognize it. We see him just setting up on that backboard whenever they're on the attack, and it's going to be an effort here. Flucky trying to just nip in ahead of those 2 players back there for Method. Couldn't quite get the contact as 2 players put him under pressure. Metsonoris can take this one away. Magnus with a shot on goal. Flucky cannot quite get the save, but Data is going to get this one away from danger momentarily, but both of these teams are playing on ice at the moment, and Greg, and the ice is getting thinner and thinner every time they see these teams go forward.
Yeah, they're making shots. They're just narrowly missing out on the shot they're looking for, and that is key, especially for Magnus. He's been finding those top corners just below the crossbar, and that can be the difference between a team winning and losing. How good can you shoot?
Flores here, going to be challenged, but does win the ball again. Data's going to be there. If he can find a pass inside here, there might be an opportunity. The ball just dropped down, but Metsanoris is back. Going to read that one nicely. Magnus looking for that second touch off the aerial. Ball going to be dropping here. Metsanoris with a shot, but Data with a comfortable save there. Plays it back upfield. If Flores could get a touch on this, there might have been a chance. Flores trying to take this one over Bipod, but Bipod does a good job on defense. Once again, off the backboard here. 2 players could be taken out of the game, but Magnus did get an important touch. And that's going to send this one back towards the Epsilon goal now. And this has been such a back and forth. You could almost feel the tension in this game. Both teams know what's on the line here. Method 1 game away from winning the series, but it's going to be an effort. As Post is struck there.
Just wide.
And Epsilon know that they cannot make mistakes because it's what cost them so far in the series.
Well, that's a weak clear, thankfully for him. Magnus is there. I say weak clear, I bet it was intentional. He knew Magnus was going to be there. But at this point, we're seeing the counter plays as an opportunity because Metsanoris, even though he was able to clear that ball, he had 0 boost at the back. And all it takes is that clear to not be a clear, instead be a pass. And then when you have a pass in your opposition half on the breakaway, you can then start looking for a shot as Bipod goes to the backboard. Data just reading so well today in defense.
Data have been so impressive, as you say, Greg, and just reading that ball off the backboard, just patrolling and taking one of Method's most dangerous weapons out of the game. Metsanoris going to be challenged up the field by Flarky. Bipod once again with an important touch. Flarky keeping the pressure on though as you see Magnus play that one back inside. Oh my word, the shot coming in from Metsanoris. Beautiful mechanics from him to send that one towards that far corner, but again, the defense from Epsilon very strong. We see Magnus arriving, Flores this time, putting in the work.
Breakaway.
Once again, Epsilon have the opportunity to break away, as you say, but just doing such a good job defensively. Flores does get the read on it. Flarky gets the ball away. Data with a long clear now, and it's going to be a little bit of breathing room momentarily here for Epsilon, but Method, they're starting to put on the pressure here with 7 seconds left on the clock. We could be going to overtime unless one of these teams makes a big play.
Oh, here we go, Flarky. It's still up? Nope, just going down there. But we did say at the beginning of this series it's going to be goals, goals, goals. Whenever Method around, there's always goals. But we have had a full 5 minutes with 0 goals, and at this stage it is going to be the first goal in this game that will win the series.
Magnus trying to win the game for his team, but just falling short again, and this has been such a cagey game. You could just feel how much this means to these two teams, how important this game is. Epsilon cannot afford to lose. But Method know if they lose this game as well, it's going to game 5. All the momentum is going to be with Epsilon. Minimal mistakes from both of these teams as well in this game. Metsanoris, 2 players there. Back from Epsilon. It's going to drop here. Bipod pushes this one towards the corner. Does have boost. Metsanoris is going to have the shot. Flarky was there.
Oh, what a read by Data. Getting the block, but not only getting the block, send it deep into the Method half. Metsanoris now having to draw players in. He takes 2 out of the game, but that's going to be a setup. Just playing a little bit safer than they have in the past, Epsilon. They often overcommitted in previous weeks, and we wondered why they kept losing. They look so strong in offense.
Metsanoris with a shot towards goal. It hits the crossbar. And this game has got me on a knife edge here. Over a minute into overtime. A bump on the line could create an opportunity, but no, Flarky's there this time to keep Epsilon in the series. And it's not just in the game, it is in the series. Flores here, trying to pop this one up. Metsanoris gets the clear away. Long clear outfield again. Data back though, doing what he's done so well so far in this series.
You would not want to make a touch like that when it's your last man back. So much reliant on him being successful in it. If it didn't work, that would have bounced straight into the middle for a goal. But Data having the confidence to take the ball up.
Flores puts it down. Oh my word, what a save there from Magnus.
Getting his 3rd save of the game. Speechless.
I'm literally just watching this in amazement at the moment. This game, it's got me on tenterhooks. I'm enjoying this game so much I can barely speak at the moment. As a caster, that's not a great thing to say. But Flarky, I'm almost letting the gameplay speak for itself at the moment. Magnus is going to be up here, but again, Epsilon putting up the wall. Metsanoris now with the shot. Flores with the save.
Oh, that's a vital miss.
2 minutes 15
alone.
into overtime. Bipod does get the save, though. Does get the ball away. Flarky touches this one down. The demo comes in, takes Bipod out. And Sonora steals that boost in the corner, though. Pops this one back up off the roof. Magnus is trying to arrive. Oh, cannot quite direct that one towards goal. I haven't got much nails left.
Not often you get to see a 0-0 game almost go 8 minutes and be this exciting. It's just such good defense from both teams. And the offense has been incredible too. It's just being met at the shot. Oh no, there's able to make a save as Flores, even there, looks sloppy, but was able to find the gap in the offense and send it there. It's just so good.
Data sends this one up. Flarky looking for another touch.
What a touch!
That sideboard. Oh. Sonoris, though, he's back this time. Flores now deciding to try and put some pressure on. Magnus again gets this one clear. Data sends this one upfield. Bipod's going to put this one back towards goal. Flarky again under pressure, but deals with it so well. Such an important touch. Flores now tries to take Metsonoris out of the game. He's looking for that pass off the backboard. There might be an opportunity, but Metsonoris reads it well. Who is going to win this game? We are over 3.5 minutes into overtime.
No.
Tied up at 0-0. Magnus with the touch. It's Bipod who wins the series with an incredible play from Method. Finally put Epsilon to bed. And that is why they are so feared in the Elite Series and worldwide.
Magnus just going up, slowing that ball down onto the backboard, allowing Bipod to come in and finish that. And that is the most exciting one-goal game I've ever witnessed. Method taking the series 3-1.
Method showing why they are title contenders in the Elite Series, closing out that series. But I want to talk a little bit. We can talk about how good Method are all day, but what a performance from Epsilon, trying so desperately to just scrape out a result in that last game.
This Gfinity Elite Series, they keep losing 3-1 to these top teams and looking so strong. They just need to step that little bit higher and take games off of them. The fact they were that close to Method, that's a huge showing of how good they can be. And I was talking to them yesterday, and they were saying they've been practicing really hard together with Flores. This is the first week they've really trained for it, and you could tell their performance was brilliant.
And the strangest thing about it is Method won the series. Yeah, very obvious. Yes, Magnus obviously missed the goals back on the scoreboard. But I'm looking at Epsilon. What a performance from Data as well. But as we have the winning goal from that last game, over 3.5 minutes of overtime to separate these two teams, and it was the man, the MVP of last week, Bipod, who scored that goal.
Yes, Method last week had that 3-man roster without the main starting guys. Bipod put on a great performance and is back this week to join Metzer and Magnus, and he did so well in defense. So often he was alone at the back and just dissolved all pressure, which is what you want out of a sub in a team, and that is just brilliant for him. Great show. Like the same before, he used to be the best player back in SARP, Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Power Battle Cars, the prequel to Rocket League. And
I'm not saying that.
Not saying that. He is the oldest player as well in the Elite Series.
Right.
And, I mean, his reaction speed isn't quite up to some of these young'uns, but he has a good read of the game.
Putting him in a performance, as we see. But I want to send it back over to the beautifully dressed men over on that desk. Gentlemen, what a series.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. From that side of the gentleman area of Gregan and Onset, beautiful stuff from there. Who are you going to call?
Hostbusters?
Yeah, thank you very much. Oh, he smashed it off the cuff there. Great game there, wasn't it? As Gregan said, one of the best 1-0s he's ever seen. Did you see the same?
Oh, absolutely. Well, we were waiting, thinking, are we going to need to come back right now, or are we going to have to watch another game? I wouldn't have minded either way, because it was a really great goal that finished. I was hoping Magnus is going to hit that double touch. Did lead into the goal for the finish.
Yeah, a finish. I see what you've done there.
I always do this by mistake.
The finish were epic there, but my Bipod getting that goal, and I think it was one of the longest overtimes we've had. I believe that we can go backstage right now to Ariel, who's with some of, if not all, of the Method team.
Nothing spooky about these guys, our winning Method lineup, but there was touch and go there when Epsilon came back, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty like back and forth, but then once we got the first goal, then we kind of had the momentum after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how's our dream team going? You said you literally got here by the skin of your teeth, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm pretty tired, but it worked out, I guess.
Well, for someone who's pretty tired, you did all right.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. You do strike me as someone who's quite mega chilled and laid back, though.
Yeah, I'm usually like this when we're playing other tournaments as well.
So is that maybe why Epsilon got a couple of goals in there? Because you guys are a bit like, oh, didn't get the practice in beforehand. Come to you, Metza.
No, I think we just threw the game. Gave stupid goals to them.
Okay, but now you 4th week winning now, yeah?
Yeah.
You feeling good about this series? Do you think you guys have got it in the bag?
I think so, yeah.
Again, you're just all so nice and breezy. And also, guys, where are the Halloween outfits?
Well, Metza already he has the hair, so it's kind of Halloween outfit.
His hair is scary enough. At the end of the day, we've got Reason versus Envy. Who do you think is going to win it?
Ooh. I actually think Reason might take it. They are looking on in a form.
Well, we put a poll out online, our Twitter page, and 69% of people still think that Envy has got it. But actually, Reason are just creeping up there with the votes. If you want to vote, then make sure you head on over to our Twitter page at Gfinity. Use the hashtag #EliteSeries. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you very much. I do apologise for what Magnus said to all of the whales out there. Such a deep voice, isn't it? Yes, Magnus, he played well.
Excitable.
Yes, very good play. They are top lads, though. They do have that good rapport with each other, and they score great goals, which we can see right now. They can go all the way, you know, as long as Magnus is awake. They can do it.
He's that voice of composure. I can only imagine what that feels like to be up on stage with Magnus and you do something really, really bad. You're like, I'm so sorry, guys, I've completely missed the ball. He says, it is fine, we will be okay after this. And it just takes full control of the situation. Great shooting, though, as usual, by Magnus. It's good to see him back.
Yeah, definitely is. Now, Shogun, got to ask a simple question. They let Epsilon back into the... Just a simple. Well, I could go difficult if you want.
No, keep it simple.
Okay, like that style. So the maximum out of the GCSE you could get is a B. Intermediate paper? Is that
probably a C.
Okay, fine. With this, Epsilon were allowed back into the match. That's kind of that doesn't bode well for Method. They didn't play to their full potential and they let a team back in. You don't want to do that as we go into the playoffs, do you?
I mean, yeah, we can say that, but at the same time, they weren't also playing with their full roster. So. It's not something that we'd usually see from them. Obviously, they got Bipod in there. We do make a lot of mentions of the fact that he is a SARBC guy, but right now we have to look at his performances in Rocket League. And in Rocket League, he's definitely got his good points, he's definitely got his bad points, but if he keeps working on them, he should get up there. Epsilon, they now move to 0-4. With that performance, they don't look like a 0-4, but unfortunately, it looks like their season and their performances might be coming in a little bit too late.
Indeed. Now, turning our attention to XL Prophecy, the main man is known, Niels Cook is known as Cookie, which gives me the sort of hunger where I'd like to, and you can as well. Which camera do you want me to come to? Because I can go to that one, or the... No, hey, guys. Anyway, listen, I'll tell you what we do. Grab yourself a cookie, because the main man, Niels Cook, is on the way. We've had that epic match between Method and Epsilon. We turn our attention now to XL versus Prophecy. It should be a Michael Jackson thriller.
That's really good.
Yeah.